Welcome to the Juice Radio Talk Show. 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 Reality TV's church reviews. Let's talk happy love and marriage lifestyle. Come and talk with us. Come and share with us. Come and laugh with us. Come on and pray with us.
Regina Clovis, special guest. You should be following your lead. Bless. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen on podcasts. We live on IG and Facebook. This episode is sponsored by TruthAndTriumph Ministries.
Oh, hello, everybody. Hey. How y'all doing? Listen, I just watched the Married to Medicine reunion, and I said, you know what? We need to have a discussion, y'all. We need to talk. So those of you that are up this late, it is a little bit late, but those of you who are up, let's have a brief discussion. You can join me in the chat section, have a conversation. I am out of town right now. Hubby and I went on a little vacay, and so the lighting is not the best. But you guys, I want to talk about this Married to Medicine reunion and talk a little bit about these couples. And I'm just going to give my perspective, my opinion. Let me start off by saying this. I'm really sad to see these African-American, Black people, my people, professionals behave like this, even if it's for a TV show. It's very, very, very sad. Hey, Mamir, thank you for coming in, beautiful. As I watch this, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I saw, some of the things that I saw in the season. You know, I watched the show and everything, and it's just really kind of just crazy, the stuff that's going on with these professionals. I'm going to go and I'm going to talk and give my opinion on each one of the couples. I'll do each one by one and say my thoughts are. But you guys in the chat, if those of you that are watching, if you're up late, if you're watching this on the replay, you can also still go ahead and put your information in the comment section there. I welcome you guys to do that as well. All right, so we're going to start off. They had the reunion tonight, and the ladies are, of course, all talking about, you know, stuff that they're talking about. But one of the things I want to say, I'm going to start with Dr. Jackie, and I'm going to go down the line, give my thoughts on these individuals. And I'm going to try and be as fair, kind, and polite as I can. But I'm also going to be truthful and honest with my thoughts. Dr. Jackie and Curtis, I really think that Dr. Jackie tries to be neutral while on camera. I'm really concerned if Dr. Jackie is also trying to be neutral while off camera. And I think what she did when she and Quad brought up that, Quad is doing fertility testing with Dr. Jackie, and they did that on screen. And yeah, even though we can be happy for Quad, if she's going to do this, I think it's also, to me, and this is my thought, I think it was kind of a jab to Sweet Tea, to LaTeasha, that they did that. The other thing about Dr. Jackie that I have observed when I'm watching this show is Dr. Jackie does not like to really tell people when they have been wrong, except when she's talking to maybe Dr. Heavenly a little bit. Curtis, I kind of like Curtis. I think Curtis does try and let the guys know, you know, hold your feet to the fire kind of thing. But Dr. Jackie, to me, seems as though she's not being as strong wording with the other ladies and the wrong that they're doing, especially Quad. And I don't know what it is or why it is, but it's really concerning to me to see that. But I don't have too much to say about Dr. Jackie. I'll come on down here to the next individual we have on here. And this is probably not going to be a long video, you guys. Here we go. You got Dr. Simone. Let me say this about Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone, I think, oftentimes put herself out there to be the voice for the whole group. And I don't know if she realizes that she puts herself in that position, and she really doesn't have to. All these women are grown. They can all speak for themselves. And when Dr. Simone said on one of the episodes that she was the one that told Quad that she had to leave, and she took all of that herself. Here's the thing, Dr. Simone. Yeah, you said it, but all the girls backed you up because they didn't say anything else. They didn't say, no, don't go. So I think, excuse me, Dr. Simone, I don't know why she took all that herself, because she could have easily said all the girls could have said something too. The other thing with Dr. Simone is aware that this is a show. And she understands that there's going to be some performances on the show. For Dr. Simone to be so angry at Quad and tell Quad and call Quad out on the reunion, I think Dr. Simone should have called Quad out while the cameras were rolling and they were filming. If Dr. Simone felt this way, because you see on the end of this reunion, Dr. Simone is fussing with Quad in the green room, and she's telling Quad, you weren't there for me. You only there when the camera's rolling. And Quad said, well, who was there when we went to go look for your father? I was there to go with you to look for your father. And though it's right, that Quad did go look for her father, I think it was kind of messy that she brought that up, even though it was right. Quad was right. But Dr. Simone then says, you were there because the cameras were rolling. Here's the thing, Simone. If you've known Quad all these years, you knew what she did when she left the show. She went to Sister Circle, how she treated y'all, how she stood in front of a whole audience of people and stood up there and said that the Sister Circle girls were her real sisters and had y'all in the audience. If she treated y'all that way, you knew she treated y'all that way, you knew the things that she said on social media, then why, Simone, are you still so angry at Quad? It's like you haven't realized who she is. You had enough time to realize who Quad is. And if you haven't realized now who Quad is, then unfortunately, Dr. Simone, shame on you for not realizing who she is. I have not even been on the cast, but I've been watching, and I can see who Quad is. And many other people can see who Quad is. Hey, Patty, thank you for being here, beautiful. We just chit-chatting about this Married to Medicine and these women and their men. So it's like amazing to me that Dr. Simone have not realized who Quad is. Quad is not, to me, and this is my thought, my opinion, I don't think Quad's a real friend to none of the ladies. I think Quad loves the opportunity of being able to be in front of a camera. I think Quad really loves the opportunity to have people see her as a celebrity. I think Quad loves to have people admire her. I think Quad just loves the attention that television gives her. And I don't think that Quad is trying or wants to be friends off camera with any of these ladies. If it's not, and this is my thought, my opinion, allegedly, if it's not an opportunity, I don't think Quad will have anything to do with it. I would really have to think, Quad, is she still seeing any of the women that were in Sister Circle? Does she still hang out with any of them? Hey, Pat. Hey, Kim. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, she is bitter. I think she is a little bitter. Hey, Kim. Thank you for coming on in. Yeah, I don't think Quad really wants to hang out with any of these girls unless there's an opportunity for her to be seen, to be in the limelight. And when those cameras go off and they say lights, camera, action or scene cut, we're done. I think Quad is done. So I don't know why Simone keeps getting so upset. Why are you getting so upset? When you see who a person is, that's who they are. Maya Angelou said it best. She said it best. When people show you who they are, believe them. That's who Quad is. And if Simone thinks that Quad is going to change for Simone, you're going to keep getting your feelings hurt, Simone. You're going to keep getting your feelings hurt. It ain't going to be good. It's not. I'm going to put the link in here too if you guys want to come up, since, I'm just chilling today. It's just evening, night, time to chill. So if y'all want to come up and just chit chat, no, if you don't have to, if you don't want to, but just in case, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Because this is the way I think friends, women, this is why I think women get their own feelings hurt, because, let me pin it up here too, because they think that an individual is going to change for them. Quad is not going to change for Simone. Quad is Quad. Quad ain't even going to change for King. She's not going to change for any of them. And it's sad that Kim is still, thank you, Kim, be back here. Hold on. It's sad that Quad is not realizing that. Hey, girl, hey, what you doing up, girl?
Hey, girl, hey, just been cleaning up and I've been so busy. This has been the only time today I've had an event to go to today, but I just couldn't do it because my house is a wreck. So I've been trying to get everything together, and now I don't get all that stuff. I'm sore. I'm gonna take me a long soap and bath in a little while.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Patty, I don't know if Patty's able to come up too. Patty said, yeah, she is bitter. Quad is bitter, and I don't understand why these people don't realize Quad is, to me, you hate to say opportunist, but that's what Quad appears to be. That's my thought. Mamir said, it's like Quad is trying really hard to prove to the cast how happy she is. It seems that way. It seems that way to me. What's your thoughts, Kim?
What is that old saying goes, thou protest too much? Okay. When you got to do all that and everything, happiness is almost like hearing the light of the Lord in you. You don't, he said that you'll be in your closet. You ain't got to be shouting off on the corner and all the rest of that stuff, because it lives within you. If you're happy, it's going to shine. You don't have to do all that pontificating and posturing and all the rest of that stuff. You don't have to do all that stuff. But in addition to that, she's also trying to keep up with the Joneses, because no matter what, like Sweet Tea told her, you're not married to the medicine. What you do there. So she don't have the same kind of, so she's doing it all on her own. Okay. Mm-hmm. So she's trying to keep up they may talk about Toya or whatever, but whether Toya's house is hers or whatever, she keep moving up. Okay.
She does.
Eugene is doing a lot better now. Okay. And he's even happier. You could tell that they're a lot happier with it. I think that job was bothering him a lot there. And
the job and the stress, like he said, which was the biggest debt was the house they were in. So things around. But Toya really has come up. I think Quad is out here, and I will give her this. Quad is out there, and she's doing it on her own. So we got to give her kudos for that. I give her kudos.
Oh, yeah, that's for that too. But what I'm trying to say though, is that you can't put yourself with other people. Okay, like I'll use myself as an example. Mm-hmm. It took me a long while to get where I am, and I'm doing it on my own, but I'm always happy for other people. Okay, always. Okay.
That's real happiness. You real happy for them.
Absolutely, because when it's your turn, it's your turn. God got you. That's just like a bag of popcorn. You can put a bag of popcorn in the microwave, but not all the kernels pop at the same time. Okay, everybody ain't gonna pop at the same time. Okay.
Everybody ain't gonna pop at the same time.
They ain't gonna pop at the same time. But I think she harbors a little bit of resentment and everything. And like when she was in the sister circle, she wanted to flaunt that over there because I rose above this. Somebody else wants me and all the rest of that. What she did at that thing was horrendous. When she was talking about, she did that on purpose. Okay. And that's when Patty said that she was bitter. I agree with Patty. I agree that she's bitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I also agree and think that she's an egomaniac, because I'm going to take it all the way back to Mariah. When Mariah told her she brought her on here, and she going to make it seem like to Mariah that she did everything on her own. Okay, come on now. Mariah was the one that created that show, and she was a producer of it. You know, you got to give Just Due what Just Due is. All righty.
That's right. But and not only that, since we're gonna take it all the way back, let's even take it back. I think part of what Dr. G was trying to say with Quad act like Dr. G didn't do nothing for her. And he did. He was a financial provider for her as well, but she act like he didn't do nothing.
But that's the egomaniac part I got to say. I'm saying, because one thing about it is that God ain't make nothing one-sided. Everything is two-sided. So you got to give the man his just due too. And even if you don't agree with him, even a broke clock is right twice a day. The man was right. He was there for you. Okay, now maybe he wasn't all lavish and flamboyant with all his stuff that he gave you or whatever. Because some men are just practical. They pay the bills, make sure that mortgage paid and all the rest of that stuff. The bills are paid,
right.
You know, and that's good enough. Because I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't be complaining. Let me find one to do that, okay?
I wouldn't either. And I think part of Quad's delivery I think all the Quad's delivery when it comes to her talking to Sweet Tea and her talking to, hey, Dustin, and her talking to Dr. G, she talks down to them. And then she act like, oh, I was happy for you guys. Quad is being this type of person. She's telling the world, oh, I'm being happy for them and I'm being nice to them, but she's being condescending, she's being rude, she's being nasty, and the world sees it. She knows it, but she tries to sugarcoat it and cover it up.
Yeah, but she didn't cover that up because people see it and they see her for what she is.
Right. Quad needs to understand. Listen, if you are that happy with King, then none of the words that's coming out your mouth need to have Dr. G in it or LaTisha in it. None of it. Because you would have so much words about how happy you are. Those 10, 15 times a day or a week, whatever you said you have intercourse, that should all be what you should be talking about. Quad is, I think Quad.
That was a lot, though. I mean, for her to even say that. I know the question was that, but she took that and she just went on and on and on and on. And so, you know, they didn't even make it believable. And I don't think it's believable anyway. But anyway,
I don't. I think Quad, and I said this in somebody else's comment. I think Quad has still some resent towards Dr. G, and I think the reason why she has resent to him, of course, they divorced. She keeps saying she left him, but if she left him, then why have that resentment? But I think with Quad is she knows the finances that Dr. G probably has or had, and I don't think King is measuring up to Dr. G's wallet.
Well, you know, the other thing too is that they say that, you know, I don't know if it's true or not, but they say that she had asked him to come on there to be her boyfriend. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I think the other thing too is that it's get back, because she was probably wounded when they cast her off like she was on the island. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that she could come back, and then Sweet Tea and Dr. Gregory will continue to be on the show. I know that was eating her up because, you know, first of all, she's all in her own head, her own self. You know, I know that tore her up. And I think she's bitter about that. And she just wanted to make them feel, she wanted to make, because some people are like that. They want to make you feel the same pain they have. Okay. And then she probably want to let Sweet Tea know you ain't special.
Yep, she did. But here's the thing with Sweet Tea. Let's talk a little bit about Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea needs to understand and know that her behavior is rude also. I'm just going to say it.
No.
Even though Sweet Tea, she's like, y'all coming for me, I'm going to come back for y'all. I understand that. But Sweet Tea, you got some accountability also, how you have to do your delivery. When she shot the bird at who she shot the bird at tonight on the reunion at oh my goodness, I can't remember which one she shot the bird, Quad. When she shot the birdie at Quad, I was like, that is so immature. That's why they keep talking about her age, because she does immature stuff like that.
Well, that's why they taunt her. Yeah, they do taunt her about her age because of that. But, you know.
her behavior. You are on a national television where you could actually be promoting yourself, and you sitting here shooting a bird at somebody on a national television platform in a like evening gown. Sweet tea. This is why these ladies keep looking at you and giving these childish comments to you. It's not right that they do it, but your behavior is not showing grown woman behavior.
At all.
It's not showing grown woman behavior. Hey, Tracy.
But you can't tell her sweet tea nothing, though, because she's just like every other young person. You can't tell them nothing. They don't like to listen.
Let me see what Tracy said. You guys just gave over the fact that he was abusive to Quad, right? That's not playing into your comments at how he was abusive to her physically and mentally. He's doing similar with his new wife. Here's the thing, Tracy. I come from past abusive relationships. And I'm going to tell you what. I had 2 relationships that were abusive. And here's what I learned when I personally went through abusive relationships. Some of that stuff is on us, how we speak. And I'm not saying this everybody, okay? But some of the stuff, I knew how to push his button. And when I wanted to make him mad, I would push those buttons. So some of that stuff, people don't want to say this. And girl, Kim, you have your own opinion. But some of these women, I know I did it to myself sometime too. I'm not saying all the time. But sometimes some of these women push these guys to levels that they shouldn't push them to. I did it myself, so I know. It's not saying that it's right on either side. But we got to stop saying that he was abusive to her and not recognize the verbal and mental abuse that she took him through as well. She did her part as well. Quad was not innocent in that situation. And
they did say something about that. You're right, because they said something. Remember when she said, you beat me, and then he said something that she had did to him. He said, but no, you did such and such. I can't remember what it was verbatim, but it was at the old reunion when they were still together, and they were started talking about that. Yep.
Now, I'm not taking up for Dr. G, and I'm not taking up for Quad, but I'm saying as far as relationships, and that's one of the reasons why I even wanted to do this live tonight, because y'all know I haven't done reality in a while. But this whole reality and reunion, this had me to think of relationships. Now, what Quad is doing, Quad is being mind manipulating to Dr. G. She's being mind manipulating to Sweet Tea. She's unhappy for something in her own self, and she's portraying it and pushing it off on Sweet Tea and Dr. G. And how many times are we going to keep saying, oh, but he did this to her, he did that to her? How long ago was it? Quad has to learn, if you got a new man in your life, you're going to have to let the old man go. You're going to have to let that old man go. You can't keep holding on to that, because you are not going to get anywhere in life if you keep holding on to the past. That new man that you got needs to be good enough for you that you can't even remember the past. And I know sometimes people say it's hurtful. One thing I have never seen. Now, y'all let me know in the comment. Tracy, let me know if you're still in the comment. Did Dr. Greg ever physically abuse her? Did he ever physically lay hands on her? I don't recall any. I know.
Well, she said that he did. And then I think he admitted it too, but then he said, but you did something. But yeah, that was when they were still together. The last reunion, they were still together. When they were announcing. So
here's the thing. If he physically put hands on her, then if she should have let that whole relationship go, because that's my thing. That's what happened to me. When it came to the point, because first it started with the verbal abuse. Let me tell you how the process is. It started with the verbal abuse. Then it started with the threatening abuse. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Then when the hand came on, I was out. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa says she throw rocks and hide her hands a lot. She does. I think she does. Thank you, Tracy. I think Kim just said that as well. But what we have to understand is Quad has a role in this. And that's why I want to let people know my opinion. Quad has a role in this. She has a role in this with not only Dr. G, she's got a role in this with Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea is not innocent as well. She's not innocent also. But not only that, you guys, Dr. G has a role in it too. They all have a role. They all are being immature with this whole situation. But what we're seeing on television is what production is having us to see. And when they were at that little beach thing or whatever, pool party thing that they were at, I think if Quad would have not had a conversation at all with Dr. G and with Sweet Tea, then things would not have escalated to the point where now Dr. G and King are out here trying to fight each other. I think if Quad would have just kept quiet and not say anything to Dr. G or to Sweet Tea, it would not have escalated to where
That's right, because what she said acted as a catalyst.
It did.
It acted as a catalyst. But then, just to show the dynamics, because again, it's always two sides. Gregory, he wanted to instigate it. Because he's like, yeah, I said it too. I told her to shut the hell. And he stepped up to that guy to tell him that. And he wanted to see what, that I thought that was uncalled. I was like, not even me. I was up there rolling my eyes. And even the guys were like, no, man, no.
Right. They were like, why even bring it back up again? And that's why I said all of them on this show, every single one, none of these women are innocent, including their men. All are wrong. That's why the title is on there. Dr. G was also wrong for that. But here's the other part to that, Kim. King, when Dr. G and King were talking on the beach, and I don't even remember the whole conversation we had, but King ran toward Dr. G and they were trying to stop him. King was wrong at that point.
He was
wrong because here's the thing. You running up on somebody, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. A lot of people have lost their life with stuff like that. I get what Dr. G was saying when Dr. G was trying to tell his wife, Sweet Tea, it would have been a fight to the death. I get it. Because if those two would have came together with each other, not to say who was going to win or who was going to lose, but you don't know the moves, what each one of them would have done. And somebody could have gotten hurt to the point where their life could have been taken.
Like my dad used to tell me, because when I was coming up, because I had a big old mouth and everything, he said, girl, you better be quiet. He said, I'm going to tell you something. Having a fight like going to court, you don't never know who's going to come off the winner.
You
said,
don't.
Even if you think you're the aggressor, you never know.
You don't know. And I was so mad with Sweet Tea because she said nothing about, no, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been.
Oh, I'm glad you said it because I was going to put a note on that so that I could come back to that. I'm so glad you said that. And that's what ticked him off and made him go off on her. Mm-hmm. Even in that bedroom, because he was still riled up. Tracy said something. He's a psychiatrist. He's trained and makes it even worse that he is this way. That's true. But the thing about it, too, is that even... Okay, that's what I was going to say. And he's still a human. And the flesh be talking sometimes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so that's the only thing about that. I feel for all of them because really it was Quad that did that. And she just went on and on. It was a simple question they had asked. But then she had to go on and do all this embellishment and all the rest of that stuff. But one of the things you said about the past is what I want to talk about. And that goes for Dr. G too, but I guess it's hard for Dr. G to sit there and while he listening to Quad. But you know, you gotta, one thing about it is that, like you said about people messing up endorsements, he gotta remember he's a psychologist, okay? Mm-hmm. But what kills me about people is that how are you going to let something that happened so long ago, right? Do you continue to dictate your life every day? All right. Why? You don't moved on. You done got this, that, and the other. You know, that was something I had to tell my own self. You can't harbor things and expect good to come to your life. You know what I mean? Mm-mm. You can't harbor because that don't happen in the past. It's gone now. So how long? So something that's long gone and everything, how are you going to continue to let that affect you in your everyday life in all of your activities? And then besides, that might have been what used to be, but I used to be a lot of different things. And that's like somebody going to rob a house that you used to live in. Okay. They say, I'm going to rob you. And they go to your old house. I don't live there no more. My stuff ain't there no more. You know what I mean?
I know.
So, her stuff ain't there no more. So just live your life. You got back on the show. They kicked her off for basically the same reason, to be truthful. But I would have thought that she would have came back with a little humility.
None. I didn't see none. But let's go back to Sweet Tea real quick.
Yeah, let's go back there.
Her husband sitting there telling her it would have been a fight to the death. And Sweet Tea sitting there saying, no, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been. It wouldn't. And he got so mad at her. I understand why he got mad. Hey, Alicia, thank you for Anika. Thank you for being here.
No, you remember what another reason why he got mad though? Remember she said that she would have handled it. He told her you couldn't have did nothing with her. She said, I'm Army trained. Remember that? So then that was an insult upon injury. Okay? So she told her you wouldn't have been a fight for the death, but I could have handled it. So she also diminished him as a man and emasculating him. But go ahead.
Exactly. And I don't think she realized that.
She's too young.
But not only that, remember, I don't even know at that point if he had filed the police report yet. That's why I left Anika's comment up here. He was probably trying to get his wife to understand, listen, I'm going to say this on camera because I might have to file this police report. I don't know the timing. But I looked at it. If my husband's going to tell me it would have been a fight to the death, I would have been like, yeah, baby. And if he would have injured you, if he would have taken your life, then, oh, my God, what would have happened? Because let me tell you, because I would have used that in court. I would have. But she kept saying, no, it wouldn't have been. No, it wouldn't have been. No, it wouldn't have been. And he got so upset because she not listening. I think they need to have conversations before they get in front of the cameras in the future, if they ever do it again, because she wasn't listening. And like you said, she was kind of emasculating him by telling no one, because I'm Army trained, it wouldn't have went down like that. And he's like, you still a woman regardless. So she's not thinking things through fully.
And they're not even becoming, no man want to hear his wife get in there. And then that'd be really horrible to see you get pummeled. Okay.
Thank you. Hey,
okay,
Ollie.
that's what's gonna happen.
Hey, Ollie. So Mamir said a psychiatrist who is admitting to being abusive mentally and physically, he should lose his license to practice. It's terrifying that people are relying on him to get better. I wouldn't say that he needs to lose his license. I'm not for taking nobody's job or careers away from them. I would say that if he knows that he's got a problem with it, he needs to get help himself. But I'm not for taking away nobody's job. Because listen, I need my job, and I ain't trying to have nobody take my job.
Oh, no, me too. I ain't put it out there. But I understand what she's saying. Though. What she's saying is that depending on how he portrays himself, that he needs to be careful because, integrity and how you act and perform, may affect your license. You know what I mean?
But not only that, he's a psychiatrist. So mentally, I think, he should be able to control that because he teaches others to be able to control their mental.
You would think so. You would think he would be a little bit like, what's his name? Oh, Heavenly's husband.
Oh, no, I got to talk about him.
Okay, but I was just saying, do you think that, but I want to talk about what you just said, that you said they need to have a conversation. Look. There's something going on with their relationship anyway. Okay. And I'm not saying it's anything bad, but what I'm saying is that their communication isn't down. They're not aligned. They need to be better aligned with one another. Now, they need to have some conversation, not only just before the show, but period. You know what I mean? Because it seems like they're going like this and they need to be going like this. You know what I mean?
You mean Dr. Who you mean?
Sweet Tea and Dr. Gregory, because you said they need to have conversations before the show. I said, I think there's some underlying problems, though, not necessarily problems, but they're just not aligning. No. It's they need to tune up or something like that. They need to tune it up some.
They do. And let me tell you this other thing about Quad. Melissa say it seems like Quad is a trigger for Dr. G.
Yes, she does, though.
Yeah. Here's the thing, too. Quad puts her foot in her mouth on purpose. What she said to LaTisha at this reunion, she's told LaTisha, oh, you got with Dr. G and through his DM and you said you was going to give him a baby and you still haven't done that yet. That's degrading, Quad. To do that and knowing
not only that, you mess with your own karma. That was some dirty stuff. Dirty. That was low down. They call that scorched earth theory. When you say something, don't nothing live after that. They don't burn it up and scorch it up. Ain't nothing living after that.
But here, and then see on the same last week they were saying that Dr. Jackie is giving Quad fertility treatment so that she can get a baby. And we might have something to say coming up in the future. We might have something to say. And then Quad, you're going to turn around and tell that girl, oh, you haven't done that yet. You said the only reason why you got one because you said you was going to give him a baby and you haven't done that yet. You don't say stuff like that. I don't care how mean and nasty you are. You don't say stuff like that, knowing you yourself want to try and conceive.
Mm-hmm.
But that was low down. That was low down.
That was
all these women are wrong. All of them are wrong with how they say.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa said it really seems like Quad, there's a trigger. Yes, and Melissa also said this. He doesn't have emotional intelligence. Listen,
who, Dr. Gregory?
I don't know if I think she meant.
I think that's Gregory. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell y'all something though. Now I want y'all to tell me what y'all think though. I want to hear the feedback.
Yeah.
In a way, he is a trigger, but in a way, don't you think? I think he still cared for her, or I should say, still cared for her. I think he cared for her. So when they were married, that stuff hurt him.
It did, and I think
he loved that girl. I think that hurt him.
He said that he even said after he was married to LaTisha, yeah, he tried to save his marriage. He didn't want his marriage to end. He said that.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Because I think that he was wounded. I think he was wounded behind that. I think and it's hard to get over now. I say you can forget about the past, but sometimes some pain stay with you. You know what I mean? And especially if you may have a little lingering or longing,
Yeah, Mambir said it's indicative that he himself is mentally unstable. He himself should be cleared as mentally fit by a peer in the field before he is allowed to practice again.
Okay, but can we take it up to the bedroom now?
Take it up there, girl.
Okay. When he was taught, she wanted them steps to follow him. Now, see, that's the other thing that you can tell young girls to. He don't want those steps. Girl, it ain't gonna get no better. You ain't gonna tell that man nothing because now first you don't insult him. He going up there because he don't really want to let you have it. Now we all seen that. She could have seen it. Stevie Wonder could have seen that. Okay, but no, here she go trotting up there. Anyway, she trotting up there and she was like, just be quiet. Now that's the other thing. Now even though he was getting really nasty with her. Okay, you don't tell nobody to be quiet. See, that would have ticked me off. Okay, husband, no husband, with your co-worker, I don't care what it is. That's gonna tick most people off. You know what I'm trying to say? But then the way he was talking to her too, I was like, "God, doggone, Gregory."
What she should have did was she should have learned. Listen, she hasn't learned her man yet.
Yeah,
what she should have did. Let me tell you, I haven't even known Dr. Greg. I only know him on the TV, and I knew once he went up them stairs, let him be up there for a little while.
Yeah, but that's human behavior too, though. So I'm just saying she's still a little green and got that Similac on her breath. Okay, so all I'm saying is that when you see the man, let him. The wisdom in you, or the smart, or if you had emotional intelligence, people got to calm down. Just look at your own self. Sometimes don't get me at the heat of it. Just give me a minute. If I'm walking away, let me be. Because I'm trying to woosah and get it together. Okay?
She should have let that man go up there, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
She should have made him maybe cook him a little something on the stove or something while he was up there cooking off. Let that man calm down.
Yeah, she should have. Because I thought that they were really getting ready to get into it out there. I thought they was going to give us a real show when they went upstairs to close that door.
Yeah, and you're right. For her telling her, just be quiet. No, she crazy. Girl, turn
and
the
then
mic
they don't
off.
ever make nobody feel good. That's just like you tell somebody to calm down when they're upset. I am upset. I ain't calming down right now. And then you go to tell her to be quiet. That don't make nobody be quiet. I mean,
No.
And then you can't tell anybody not to be able to express themselves, especially when they're upset. That's when you really need to get it out, so you can get it out.
He in his own house. The man is in his own house. Let the man.
And then the other thing.
Yeah.
What compounds it? Quad disrespected him when they were married, okay? And it was on national TV. Now here he come back, and LaTisha doing the same thing. Now, not necessarily in the same manner than what she did, that Quad did, but she talking about, it wouldn't have been a fight to the death, or no, it would have been, this, that, or the other, be quiet, or the other stuff that she had said to him and everything. And then, she gives, because these young kids, they always got to be proven and they want to be out loud. So nobody had to know that you promised him a baby. They run their mouth too much. You know what I mean? Everything ain't got to be said. You know what I mean? You ain't got to be an open book to everybody. All right? And you know where you're going into, so that going to show you how young you are, that she not calculating, she ain't cunning or nothing. You think I would be telling some people that sensitive when I know these chicks ain't going to like me, okay, because I am the interloper? Oh, girl. You know what I mean? But she going to have to, and it don't seem like she got anybody around her that will, you know, open her mind up to be able to consider.
Here's the thing, Kim. She have ladies around her that will try to help her, but she don't want to listen. LaTisha thinks she know it all. Sweet Tea thinks
but not only that, she is like what Simone said. She always fighting with everybody. Though she thinks she's supposed to fight with everybody because it's not only that she knows it all, she feel inadequate her own self, and that's her way of, I think, of compensating for her inadequacies. Okay. Because she came on here, she's an interloper. She does not have the same class of sophistication as these ladies do. Okay.
But she have to understand, be okay in that. That's your own uniqueness. And maybe we would like to see that. We don't always have to see all the handbags and Chanel and all that other stuff.
And I agree. And it would be nice if she would allow them to.
In that.
Yeah, and it would be nice if she would allow them to do that. But she's so busy fighting to be able to claim her stake. You know what I mean? You don't got to do all that, though. See, first of all, because if it was me, I wouldn't have been doing it. I would have came in there nice and easy, and I would have studied everybody. You know what I mean? And if somebody would have been saying something to me, I would have got them together and, you know, and did it back on up. But then, you know, I'd be trying to see how I can work this group for my own benefit and all the rest of that stuff. You know what I mean? And build out, like you say, build out your own character. But I think what I'm saying, though, is that the people outside of her life, okay? Because I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't trust all them heifers either until I made a determination on who and what they're doing. But her friends and family, I think some people should just I think they geek her up more than they talk to her.
Yeah, that part. And you were absolutely right by what you said. If I was on the show with my husband, he was my husband, I would have came in quiet. I wouldn't have been fighting or fussing, not on camera anyway. Not on camera. Because Nene Leak said it right. The best. Off camera, girl. Do that off camera. But I would have been, like you said, studying these women. I don't have to fight with the women. When Phaedra brought Quad into the wedding shower, the bridal shower, Phaedra, of course, was being messy and wrong by bringing her. But here's what I would have been. I would have been like, okay, Quad, if you want to be here, you know, hey, as long as you understand that we're being here and we're being polite, kind, we're not, no drama, even for these cameras, girl, this is a bridal shower. I invite you to be here. Are you coming in love? As long as you coming in love, let's have a good time. But I don't have to be buddy with her. But you know, I agree
with you on so many things. Because first of all, you can come on. First of all, this is a TV show, okay? Right. So we're gonna tell the people what they want. Girl, you can come on in here because we need to be able to take together. We might as well start getting these dynamics off from get it popping. And I would just be cool, like she didn't even bother me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I would be cordial. Now, I'm not going to be sitting over there being overly, but I would be cordial and all the rest of that stuff. But nope, that is not how she did it. And then you remember, she didn't do anything anyway. She allowed Toya to tell her what to do.
Right.
She said that last week. So
Quad gonna come over there and say, "Oh, LaTisha, do you want me to leave? Do you want me to leave?"
I know that was so silly.
I guess especially, but girl, Melissa said, "I believe Dr. G need a woman older and much more mature." He probably does, but does he want that older woman? That's the thing. Does he want that older woman? If Sweet Tea,
I do want to know this. I want to know if anybody got an opinion on this. Do y'all believe that she knew she couldn't get pregnant? Because I mean, you believe that she just found out that she had difficulty after she told him, "I give you a baby" on the internet, and then they started getting together and all the rest of that. I think that because most people that have problems that she has, I forgot, it's a dysplasia or something, whatever it is, usually have symptoms a lot more, you know.
Yeah.
On the onset, is what I'm trying to say. And then I noticed that her first time doing the do, so I know she done probably, you know, had some experiences before and she haven't gotten, you know, whatever. So something going on. I think she knew that in a way.
I think she possibly knew something medically. I think she knew something medically, but she didn't want to disclose it to him. Because remember when she came on camera and she did the test, I think, would you do that test with Dr. Simone or Dr. Jackie? One of them, she did that test.
Yeah, one of them, probably Jackie.
And then they were like, well, you should have known, this was going on. And here's the other thing I said also on another person's comment page. She was in the military. You get your checks and your exams of your body. So she had to have known this was taking place, this was going on.
And she told that man what he wanted to hear, too. That's all I'm just saying. I just wanted to say that. Yeah, I thought that was immature. And then on top of that, so if you knew that it was unfounded, what you told him, and then you're going to come on there and tell that to some ladies that you don't even know if you could, you trust as far as you could throw them. You know what I mean?
She should have had that whole conversation with Dr. G before the wedding day, before the cameras rolled. They should have had that whole conversation. Because Dr. G, I don't even know.
What whole conversation you talking about, though?
About her health, about there may be a possibility that she cannot because she's got to get her body checked. Because I think, does she say she had fibroids or something too?
Right, but so the conversation have been that, or would the conversation have been, why did you tell me you could give me a baby? Because remember, that's how she got him to start calling her. Because she said, I can give you a baby.
Yeah.
Because she bragged to Simone. When Simone them asked how they met, she said, yeah. And so I told him like that. And then you find out you couldn't.
She also said that when they asked her what's the best part of being married to a doctor, she said she get a little access to the bank account too. So
I was mortified. Okay, can I say I was mortified when she said that? I was like, Trey Tackay. I was like, no, girls, that's what I'm saying. She ain't got nobody talking to her. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And being able to learn how to comport yourself.
Poor Dr. G.
But Anika is right, though, on this right here. That's had me holler.
She said Dr. G doesn't even let Sweet Tea speak, let alone voice her opinion without him shutting her down. He is controlling and overbearing towards her and is disrespectful. Child.
He does kind of shut her down. That's why somebody said that he need an older woman. I believe so, because he feels like he can do that because who she is. But that's what I'm saying, though. You could tell you can't let people, how can I say, everything in life is like a dance. You got to start off how you want to end up. Okay.
Right.
You know, and so, now how we know that he might be mad too, because she said she can give him a baby and she can't. And he always wanted one. He wanted one with Quad. And Quad told him she wouldn't give him one.
And that's another thing. Quad around here talking about she want to give King a baby and she didn't want to give Dr. G one. And she's saying all this mess on TV. How you think that made Dr. G feel also? It's like, oh, she just didn't want to have a baby with me.
Yeah, she did. So I said, well, dang.
I feel bad for Dr. G. Even if y'all say controlling, I feel bad for the man, child. I still feel bad for the man. And the guys don't want to be around him. And so Anika said this, her husband makes her feel inadequate. I think they both make each other feel inadequate, actually. Melissa said, I believe she always knew about her health. I think she knew.
Melissa, me too.
Yeah. Good night, Justin. Yeah, I think she always knew. Yes, be respectful with that. Tina, hey, Tina. Tina said, yes, she already knew.
Mm-hmm.
Anika said, no, I don't believe Sweet Tea knew that about being pregnant. She don't know that really unless you're trying to have a baby. Endometriosis doesn't mean you're infertile. Oh, okay.
No, it doesn't. But what it is, it's harder for women to have babies because what happens with endometriosis, that lining that is supposed to wash off when we have our menstruals, it becomes hard for you to get that. And then if it's not washing off or sloughing off, then you get layer upon layer, which make it harder to conceive or carry. It doesn't mean that you're watching deal, but something else got to be going on with her because she had all them tests, but I never really got the gist of what the doctor said when she had all them tests and went all those places.
Well, right now she's still trying from what she said, and she is doing fertility or something, and she's not doing it with Dr. Simone or Dr. Jackie. She's doing it with Emory. She said. So I guess she don't want
Well,
nothing.
that's smart. I wouldn't do it with them either, though. I wouldn't do it with them. Ain't nope.
Let's talk a little bit about Dr. G and Damon fighting, and they still fighting over some stuff that happened. How long ago? How many seasons ago? Can I tell y'all? I really think Dr. Damon can hold a grudge.
Mm-hmm.
I seen another side of Dr. Damon this season. I was like, who is this guy?
Now, before we go into commentary, I want to ask you this, and then you can go put this out there. Yeah. So, do you think that he's holding a grudge, or do you think that because his rumors now coming to fruition and everybody don't say that they don't heard it in the street, and then Greg, when you think he's supposed to be your boy, supposed to take over you, it didn't, and then that was insult to injury, do you think that that's what it was? Because he, I'm gonna need you to help me squash this because this stuff is coming up. You know what I mean? What you thinking?
So you think Dr. Damon is like, listen, protect me and don't say, this or I don't know, because Simone said she heard some stuff. And Toya says she heard some stuff. I do want to say this, Dr. Damon. I'm going to say this. People can say everything they want. People can say whatever they want. But when you get that angry over something, it kind of makes us think, is there any truth to what they're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Because people can say whatever they want about my husband. I know I got all the checks and balances, and I'm not sitting here being mad at anybody. What I will do is I can get me a lawyer, because I'm gonna get you for defamation, because you're gonna have to prove that mess. But I'm not gonna be sitting up here getting mad, and so mad that he taking side with King.
Okay, but I want to say this too now. Okay, now hold on.
Okay.
Y'all remember they did have Similac in their cabinet, and all their kids grown. Remember they asked what's her deal? Why was Similac in her cabinet?
They did.
Wait a minute.
Who baby heavily said that was for? Who baby heavily said that was?
I don't remember none of the parties said that it was Similac in that thing, because I was like, what? So you understand what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that maybe, he might have said bros before 304s, and then he didn't, and then Gregory didn't he didn't honor that covenant that they had between them. And he probably knew already, because it was probably hullabaloo that this was going to be coming up on the forefront. And other people else said they heard it out in the street. So I'm just wondering what that is. And then since Gregory's a psychologist and all the rest of that, people usually think they tell the truth, they do what's right, they have integrity. So then it would lend that Gregory said, I don't know what you do. Okay. He's heavily happy. That's right, Melissa. Melissa's so funny. Yeah, because his stuff just low key, real low key until it ain't.
Well, he hot about that thing. I mean, and he not mad at none of the other men, because all the other men they tight lip.
Yeah, because they know the code. Bros before 304s. Okay.
Listen, he is hot mad at Dr. Greg. I mean, I was like, when I'm watching him on the reunion tonight, I was like, for real, Damon, you still that mad over Damon? Are you telling on yourself? Right? And then talking about, I got character. It's my character. Damon said he don't really care about other stuff, right? But why you so mad because Dr. Greg said something?
Well, I said before, thou protest too much.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point where he is agreeing with King. Now, Dr. Damon knew that King was wrong for running up on Dr. G. But because
Dr. Damon, remember, he co-signed what his wife got on her YouTube and said that any man said that to any other man, when he ain't gonna let no man talk about his woman like that, he gonna do that. Because Damon would do that too. And then Damon went on a co-sign. He said, yeah, ain't nobody gonna do that with his wife like that.
He did. I could not.
What
Anika said, I was so glad Cecil stepped in and gave the other side for Dr. G to Dr. Damon about speaking up for each other. Boom, he did. He did. I was glad Cecil did also on the reunion. Cecil said, well, you know his character, because Dr. Damon was telling Greg, you know my character, so that's not my character. Why would you think like that? And Cecil said, well, Damon, you know Dr. G's character, so why would you think like that about him? He said, y'all both know each other's character. So why you want Dr. Greg to know your character, but you won't understand his character? Cecil was
That's
right.
why Greg was saying he questioned his group that he in now. The group that he in now.
Yeah. Hey, girl. Hey, Rochelle. Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, let's go on now. We don't know. And Dr. Heavenly and Contessa. Child, when she talked about Contessa's boobs, Kim.
Her boobs is kind of messed up though, because I've been wondering what's wrong with her boobs though. Cause I'm like, what's wrong with Contessa boobs? Because I love Contessa, and Contessa seemed like they have it right in every area. So I said, now I'm trying to remember, and then I was trying. Now this is how my thing when I'm watching it, thinking about her boobs. I was like, now wait a minute, didn't she have an affliction? Because this ain't no boob job. I don't think it was a boob job. Something was going on. I said, so what was going on? Maybe they had to do some kind of surgery and reconstruct it, and maybe that's why. I can't remember. Did she have a regular boob job or something wrong with her boob in the beginning?
I don't know what Contessa had with her body. I don't know, but I wasn't zooming in until Dr. Heavenly said something.
You can't help it because it's like a dent in it or something. First part they spray to, in a dent. And she always showing them, you know what I mean? So I'm like, something going on there. And I keep looking, and I'm like, something going on with her boobs. I mean, they're like, what is that?
No, what is that? No,
what is going on with her boob? But no, and she's such a beautiful woman. But yeah,
maybe it has something to do with her bodybuilding. Remember, she did all the bodybuilding. I mean, she's got her body is banging. It is.
It is. Maybe it's something with the muscle, that pectoral muscle. Maybe she got to build it up the other way so it can come through a little bit or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just saying. But yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something though. Heavenly got a tongue that's like a machete.
Oh my God. Terrible. Terrible. I mean, and she and Contessa, listen, they was fighting, talking about the mamas and all this stuff and Contessa, right? But listen, I learned that night. Hey, Anika said this. Dr. Damon wasn't mad about the cheating rumor from the women. He was talking about his friend not stepping in and speaking up for him, but both guys had a point. But if Dr. G is like, this is what I know, and he like, I can't lie. I'm not gonna lie about this just because you my friend.
Right.
I understand it. I understand, Dr. G. Something you just ain't gonna lie about. Oh my God. Kim, I cannot with you with this girl's boob.
I'm telling you, I could not believe it. I was like,
listen, I think Contessa did good on her body. I think she looks great. The only thing I would say, Contessa, is you need a new stylist because I don't like the wardrobe.
I ordered wigs that she be wearing. I don't know what's going on with them wigs that hair. She needed a new stylist, but yeah. No, she got a body that the guy for, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is that she got a body to die for, don't get me wrong. All I'm saying is that it is something going on with that boob. Now, I'm going to tell the truth, okay? Because God loves the truth, and I am here to tell it, okay? Something going on. Now she did now. Heavenly didn't have to do that because, all women, we already self-conscious a lot of times about our appearance.
And they already on bad terms with each other, Heavenly.
Yeah, Heavenly ain't got no issue with going in with nobody. She don't care people. She don't care about being on good terms, except with Dr. Jackie, because Dr. Jackie got some kind of favor and she got influence and connections and everything else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think she aligns herself for opportunity and exposure with Dr. Jackie.
Anika said they are messed up, and she is a beautiful woman. I cannot.
Yeah, see, I said that, Anika, they are messed up. There's something going on with that one right there. It's like a dent thing going on. And then and it's like her chest was too hollow, and that could be though because she lost all that weight and maybe she got muscles or something. But it just seems like, and then these women, I'm gonna just tell you, period though, and this is just for boobs anyway because it's not just her
So
boobs.
we're not laughing at you. I promise you, we're not laughing at you.
No, we're not. But this is women with any boobs anyway. They just don't look like. They make them a little bit more natural, and not that they have to sit apart like two big cantaloupes.
It is something going
like
on
either side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was leaning a little bit. Maybe she's going to get it checked after the reunion.
She had a medical problem, though. Not just to say all that, though. And then sometimes when that happens, they may have to, I don't know if it was a tumor they had to take out, so they might have to go deep in the tissue.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. So I think, but I'm just saying.
Wrong for calling out that girl boob like that because I don't even. I wasn't even like that. And Dr. Heavenly should know better about talking about people like because she had all that weight. Dr. Heavenly was very heavy before. She lost a lot of weight. She looks great, and you would think somebody who was so heavy and had issues with their own body would not be so damaging to somebody else's body.
Well, Dr. Heavenly had lost a lot of weight too, but she's putting something back on because she was probably on that. She was on that Ozempic, and then, even though she said that she couldn't take it, she was doing something else. But anyway, or the semaglutide or whatever they call it. But she picking it up now though, and because she got the booty and the boobs done too, and the stomach.
Yes. Yeah, Rochelle. Rochelle said, y'all are too funny. I don't watch that show any longer. I may have to go back and start watching it. Just watch. Go ahead and watch it, girl. Watch the reunion, girl. Watch the reunion. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay,
let me see.
Now, what about who you got next?
Okay, so Anika says she did have a double. Did she, Anika? Says she did have a double mastectomy.
I knew it got said. I thought it was something medical. Didn't I say that?
Okay. So we sorry, Contessa. We sorry, Contessa. We still love Contessa. We didn't hear much about Scott this time. And I was glad because, child, all that talk about Contessa and Scott before when they were going to divorce, I'm glad that her and Scott have stayed together and working it out. And she trying to get Scott to get Botox.
That's so funny. He don't need no Botox. Leave that man alone. And I'm going to say like my mama used to say, leave that man alone, okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. You be doing all that stuff and getting them looking all fine, and they might be getting them looking fine for another woman. He fine just where he is, okay?
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Toya and Eugene real quick, and then we'll go to Phaedra. Toya needs to teach a class on how to get a home, how to build a home, how to do that. Even if you had a problem with your finances, you can still get a home. Toya, I need that class. I need you to teach that class, Toya, because Toya went from living in the rental homes that was too much for them to afford to going into some other home to building her own home from the ground up to now another home. Toya, teach the class, girl. You winning. Her and Dr. Eugene. And I like Dr. Eugene too. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Dr. Eugene. I like Dr. Eugene. That's my boy. Now, real quick, I'm not even going to talk too much about King anymore because we already said enough. But King, you're going to find out who Quad is. And if you don't control your temper, King, listen to me, King. Listen to Auntie Regina. If you don't control your temper, you will allow Quad to get you into a whole bunch of situations, and all of them you ain't going to be able to fight, King. So stop. Step back and stop. You're going to have some talks with Quad because Quad is probably going to get you into some situations that it's going to be way too many for you to fight. So talk to your girl now.
Do we know they're still together? Because it's been well after the taping of the show. Do we know if there's any rumors they're still together now?
I don't know. And when you look at social media, you still see it until after the show finished. Then we'll find out.
Okay.
Sharon say, I don't appreciate that comment from Quad to Sweet Tea. It was downgrading ugly. It was too much. It was. It was. And there's stuff like that to come back on you. Hey, Sharon.
It's going to come back on her because she is nasty after, and it's almost like she done got too big for her own britches.
Oh my goodness! But and she fortunate to barely be back on the show. Now it seems as though she's trying
That's
to
what
get.
I'm saying, and that's why, because you know she was acting like she was so hurt because the first part of the show. Oh, you all did me like that. Oh, you set me away. Oh, come
I
on.
know. And the way you ladies did me, was
Yeah,
Quad.
I know. She did that for the longest.
Girl, and see, and that all that nastiness, Quad. Sister
Mm-hmm.
Circle was gone, but guess who was still riding strong? Here you come back.
And not only they was riding strong, she wanted it too, because she wouldn't have been there if she didn't want it. So stop acting like somebody do you a favor. You know you need that job, girl. You better start acting like you do.
She needed this married to medicine job so bad that she let Phaedra roll her in a casket.
Yes, girl, because I was. Oh, I was mortified once again because I said to her, ain't no way, honey, I don't want to have to get in it when I got to get in it. You ain't going to put me in no thing like that. When it's time for me to get in one, I want to be in one, okay?
Who does that?
Oh, that was just too melodramatic.
Girl, you
Too
let
melodramatic.
roll you in a casket.
That lets you know she's stupid anything.
Girl, we all know Phaedra will promote her businesses, but honey, she couldn't have got me in that one. No, child. Crazy.
Scott wanted it. I mean, that's Scott, Lord. Quad wanted to get into that thing. I think she said that. I want to rebirth or something like that. I don't know. But Phaedra is melodramatic too.
Girl, if Quad wanted a rebirth, all she had to do was get in the baptismal. She ain't have to get in the casket.
Well, that's what's wrong with it. Wait, but I'm be nice. Melissa got too much hell in her. That's why she didn't want to go to the baptism. She might have afraid she was gonna melt. She was afraid she was gonna melt. That's what she needed to do. And they could have went over to Giselle's husband's church.
Thank you. Over there with Jamal Bryant.
Yeah.
Over there with Jamal, who's still protesting Target.
Yeah.
Not Jamal. He's so hilarious. Jamal is hilarious.
Yeah.
Melissa said, FD said, yeah, they are still together. Oh, they are still together? Well, we'll wait a little bit after the reunion finish, and then the truth starts coming out to see. That's what I'm doing. Tina is cracking up. Okay, so let's talk real quick about Phaedra, honey, because Phaedra was like, we didn't even talk about Mimi and Steven. I don't have too much to say about Mimi and Steven. They still new. They haven't really touched the surface yet. We're going to see if they're going to be back. They like the nice couple right now. Mimi did say, she could pull her hair back in a ponytail and stuff like that, like she can get down. She
ain't had to yet, though.
She ain't have to yet. But we're going to wait and see what they like. And Miss Phaedra, honey, Miss Phaedra exited the trip, got on her jet and went on a plane, got back to Atlanta and went back. And she is now on Atlanta Housewives. And so we're going to see how that goes. I haven't seen Phaedra yet on the Atlanta Housewives. I don't know. Did they show episode?
I think they pulled her in all actuality. In all actuality, I think they pulled her in right beyond that thing with Kendra, because Kendra was exiting out because they had booted her out. And then it just so happened that I think all this stuff kind of happened in succession. With her seeing at the Married Medicine, they needed her over here because I think they were going to allow her to do both shows at one time. I think she was going to be able to do both shows, but then this happened and she was like, deuces. But you think she would have been able to say deuces if she didn't even have that job? I think Phaedra got enough because she gave him a $40,000 check.
Listen, I don't know. Phaedra had a lot of stuff going on. Did she do Traders also?
Yeah, but and then she's a lawyer, and she is
got the funeral home,
and then she's been on a show,
several shows. She's been on
several shows. So yeah, she may have that kind of money, but I'm just saying, I kind of like her departure.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Phaedra was like, she's not coming. She don't have to be back with these mean girls. She ain't have to go come back for this reunion. She's not going to do that. But Phaedra, let me just talk real quick about Phaedra. Phaedra knew what she was doing when she bought the little dating boy on the trip because she knew Apollo was going to be there. She tried to act like she didn't know, and Phaedra always get caught up with her lies. We've been seeing Phaedra and these lies since she got pregnant with when she was pregnant from Apollo, and Kim Zolciak called it out. Phaedra, just tell the truth. You did not want to be on a couple's trip by yourself. I wouldn't have went there either. I would have said, well, if Paulo going to be here, whether he is here or not, I'm still going to bring this guy. But this is the first time that we have seen Phaedra with a guy. And I wasn't mad at her. I thought the guy was nice for Phaedra, even if they weren't a real couple per se. I like the way he treats Phaedra. I like the relationship they had while they were there. Why Apollo got so mad is his friend. Apollo, you cheated on Phaedra. What does it matter to you that she's dating somebody that is your friend? And the man told you he was going out with her, but you gonna act like you didn't know. And I love when production be rolling the clips. I love when they be rolling the clip to show the proof. And then Apollo's wife is gonna get upset also when she was the one.
I think she was on call, but she needs to sit down and shut up.
She was the other woman, and you're going to get upset with girl. And now she the ex. Now she the ex too.
See, that's karma. People be opening up their mouth too much. And even running your mouth is like, you never know who's gonna come out to it, like going to court. You never know who's gonna come out the winner. So you running your mouth saying all that stuff and everything, see where they got you?
Now, and he done cheated on her. And we don't.
But when Phaedra told her, you bad built body,
you do not want a Phaedra read. You always got a good comeback read. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that was so funny. That was funny, more funnier than Dr. G falling in the water and losing his glasses, girl.
I know. Poor Dr. G. He can't win for losing. And then he got that little tiny voice too.
Hey, I can't let you go until you talk about the song, girl. The song.
Why did he get on there and tell them do that song on there? That did not do him no justice. I will tell you. My stomach hurt. I can't even want him. My stomach started hurt.
Kevin sound like Mike Tyson trying to put a record out. He told, let me free, set me free.
He thought he was doing it too.
Kevin sounded like the Munchkins from the Munchkins.
Who was it? Who was it there? Was it Cecil?
Oh,
and no, it was
what's her name husband? Contessa Scott.
Oh, Scott and Toya's husband and Eugene. Okay, yeah. They looked at each other. When they looked at each other, he started playing that song. They looked at each other and
Girl, when he was singing that song, set me free, it sounded like the Munchkins from the Wizard of Oz going down the golden.
Oh, yeah, remember they go, we are the peppermint tree. Oh my God.
Oh my God, Kim. I cannot with you. Oh my goodness. He don't need to sing no more. He don't need to sing. Don't need to sing no more. And he thought he was doing it too, girl.
Bless his heart.
I cannot. He tried. I think they're gonna have him singing on the reunion coming up. The next one coming up.
I hope not. Because I don't want to, because I'm suffering secondary embarrassment for him, okay? And I can't take it, okay?
I cannot. Sharon said Phaedra knew about Apollo coming on the trip. I don't think she thought he was going to bring the wife. He originally said he wasn't going to bring the wife, and then he bought her. Anyway, I know y'all. Are y'all going to buy the album?
With his little voice. Yeah, with his little voice. He had that little voice.
What's say with his little voice? I cannot. Thank you, Kim, for coming up. This has been hilarious, girl. I may need to do more of these things. Just on some of these reunions. I don't need to do all of them. I may just do the reunion shows.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Dr. G, Greg.
No, you're not. You gonna find it out.
Greg Lunsford, song, girl. I hope he pinned it. Oh Lord, he ain't even. Oh, here it is, girl. I got it. Here it is. Here it is, y'all. Here it is. The Set Me Free song. Sing, Greg. Greg's still doing the beat sound. You're not perfect, Al.
Mm-mm. Oh, Regina, okay. Okay. Like I said, it's up for secondary embarrassment for him. I can't even take that. Okay. Okay. I feel bad for him.
Listen, he need to say that remind me of She Bang.
I remember that. Yes. Oh my God. He probably go down to history over this one.
Oh, She Bang. Kim, thank you so very much for coming up, girl. This has been so much fun.
Yes, girl.
Listen, we praying for all the ladies. All the ladies need to do right. All the ladies, they got a lot going on. The show.
Yeah, they do.
This last episode coming up. Simone, let it go. Stop fighting with Quad.
Mm-hmm.
Quad is not your friend. She is not your friend. Let it go. Kim, I love you, girl.
Love you too, honey.
Bless the ladies in Jesus' name. That's the only prayer I'm going to say for tonight because it's late. I love you, girl.
Amen. Love you all.
All right. See y'all later. Thank y'all for being here. This has been so much fun. Oh, my goodness, you guys. This has been so much fun. I appreciate you guys for coming out, hanging out with me. Now, we might do this again. So if you want to know if we're live, you're going to have to click that notification bell to make sure that you see when we're live, okay? Thank y'all so very much. Dustin, praying for your health in Jesus' name, that you be healed, Dustin, my friend. Feel better. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful, blessed evening, and I'll see y'all on the very next one. Appreciate y'all. Good night.